Dan, live on YouTube for Pro Tipster, talking about the upcoming European Under-21 Championships taking place in Poland. First game starts tonight. Sweden against England kicks off at 1800 CEST in Kielce. And then later on this evening, Poland take on Slovakia in Lublin at 20:45 CEST. So we're going to be covering these games in quite a lot of depth. We're actually going to be attending some of them. So let's start off with tonight's fixtures. It's a big game for England. England won the Under-20 World Cup in South Korea in the last couple of weeks. Although the senior team's not been up to much, the youth has been much better. They've picked a very, very strong team for this tournament. And I think they're going to look to try and win it. Whether they can or not, we'll have to wait and see. They take on Sweden tonight, who've got an experienced team. 12 members of their 23-man squad have been capped, but most of them still play their football still in Sweden. So let's look at England. The first player I want to talk about is Jordan Pickford, who was signed for Everton for £25 million this week. He's going to be the number one goalkeeper for England, and I think he could be the number one goalkeeper for the senior team in the future. It's going to be between him and Jack Butland. So it'll be interesting to see how Pickford plays, if the transfer fee has got to him, or if he's just going to come out with the same great form that he showed at Sunderland. There's two other players that I'm really interested in for England. Demarai Gray of Leicester City and Nathan Redmond of Southampton. Both Demarai Gray and Nathan Redmond used to play for the team I support, Birmingham City. So I've seen both of them play when they were much younger, when they were 16 years old. And it's interesting to see how much they've progressed. Redmond, I think, who's got one England cap already, I think he's going to be a future star. He's been linked with a move away from Southampton to a bigger team. He's got pace in abundance. He's got trickery. He can play anywhere across the front. I think he likes to play kind of like in this inside forward sort of role where he cuts in, where he strikes, where he gets to run at players. Demarai Gray is much the same. He's been quite used at Leicester after signing for them for £3.5 million, but he's got a Premier League winners medal, so it's not all bad. Again, he's probably quicker than Redmond. He's trickier. He's more of a winger, but he can, again, cut inside, shoot. I remember him scoring a hat-trick for Birmingham City against Reading, and he just terrified them with his pace and with running at players. And I think that's what England will be looking at today. Tammy Abraham up front had an outstanding season for Bristol City on loan from Chelsea. Hopefully he can take that into the tournament too for England. Looking at their best players, Simon Tibbling plays in central midfield for Groningen. He's experienced. He'll have played the kind of football that England played. Dutch football's very physical, like English football is. And I think he will be not afraid to mix it in the middle. Obviously, I've got to give him a tip for this game. All tips I talk about, I post on Pro Tipster under my username Pro Tipster Dan, and I'll be putting the link in the YouTube description for you. I've got to be patriotic. I've got to back England for this one. They're favourites for the game at 1.77. I think they should do it. Whether they do or not, we'll have to wait and see. Second game this evening is Poland against Slovakia. Now, this is an interesting game because, again, two strong sides. Poland have got 4 of their players who have been capped, but you look at the likes of Karol Linetti, who's got 15 caps for the senior side. You've got Bartosz Kapuska, who's been capped 14 times, Poland. You've got some real quality in there. Kapuska is an interesting one because he's a really useful winger, but he's been at Leicester City and he's played twice all season. You've got to ask yourself, is he going to be rusty or is he going to be ready to play? Another player who's been included, who never been capped at this level, is Arsenal defender Christian Bielik, who played on loan for, again, my club, Birmingham City. I saw him play at the tail end of last season for Birmingham City, and he was raw. I think Birmingham City fans would agree with that, but he's definitely got ability, definitely got talent. And I'm not sure if Poland will pick him, but I think he's a good player. He's still a teenager, I think. So he's on the young side, and he's maybe one for the next tournament. I'm not sure, but we'll see if he gets picked. Slovakia are probably the weakest team in the group. 12 capped players in their squad, 12 players with senior caps, that is. Milan Skriniar of Sampdoria, probably the most interesting, plays at centre back. He's been a regular for Sampdoria. Central midfield, I think. He's been a regular for Sampdoria. He's played 35 times in this season, 9 senior caps. He's gonna need his experience in the middle. Alongside, attacking midfielder Albert Rusnak is an interesting one. I saw him play for Birmingham City about 3 seasons ago, and he was dreadful. He was really, really bad. But he went to Holland. He played for Cambuur first on loan from Man City, and then he signed for Groningen, and he found his level. He found regular first-team football, and he did really well. He played 61 times in the Dutch leagues for Groningen, scored 9 goals for them, moved on to America to the Major League Soccer, where he's playing for Real Salt Lake. He's made 13 appearances for them, scored 3 times. Finally showing his promise as a footballer. Tip for this game, I've got to go with the home team, Poland, purely as it's got to be about pace. It's got to be about experience. And I look at players, like I said, I look at players like Linetti and Kapuskin. I think they should they should be the kind of players who grab this football at this level and rip teams apart. Poland are favourites with the bookies. I've tipped them to win at 1.99, which I think is actually pretty decent odds. Again, we'll have to see if they can do it. So to recap, my tips for tonight's game are going to be Sweden versus England is going to be England to win at 1.77, Poland versus Slovakia, Poland at 1.99. I'm going to try and do another one of these tomorrow. On Sunday, myself and my colleagues from Pro Tips to Turkey, we're going to Tiki to watch the game there. So if you follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, look out for our videos and pictures from before, during, and after the game. We'll be talking about who played, and I think we'll be taking I think it's Czech Republic against Italy, and we'll be taking a look at Donnarumma. So nice talking to you. Keep an eye out for tomorrow for our future videos, and see you soon.